My next guest was just 31 years old when his life took a dramatic turn. Michael King was diagnosed with a rare form of epilepsy, and the news threatened everything he knew and forced him to rebuild from the ground up. His memoir, Be There When I Return, offers a raw, honest look at love, loss, and the fight to take his life back. Michael, welcome to New Day.
Thank you. Thank you
Beautiful.
for having me.
So first, let's start with what I imagine is just a shocking diagnosis. What were you experiencing at the time?
Well, I was 31 years old when I got diagnosed. So my seizures, for people that don't know anything about epilepsy, it wasn't falling on the ground seizures. I would clap my hands and make weird noises. So for the person on the street or someone that saw it, would think that something probably mentally wrong with this person and never epilepsy. And then finally, when I went to go see a neurologist and did all the testing, they said you had epilepsy. And I was shocked because I thought it was like Tourette's or something, because the only thing I knew about epilepsy is seizures, shaking, falling on the ground. So it was kind of shocking to hear that diagnosis.
Absolutely. And you spent 5 years, I understand, trying to manage your illness, and then came your decision to undergo brain surgery. So what gave you the courage to really take that leap?
Well, it was really my sister, because during that time I was not doing well mentally, that I thought this was my life. This is how my life is going to be, and I wasn't in a happy place. And then I was talking to my sister, and she mentioned about a friend of hers who she went to elementary school who had epilepsy and recently had surgery at at Stanford.
Yeah.
And then mentioned to me as, have you spoken to your doctor about possibly surgery? And then I did, and then we went through all the testing about possible being a candidate for surgery. And then at the end, the diagnosis was, it was in 2 sections of my brain. So they couldn't do any sort of removal, which is the most successful. So they wanted to do what's called MST, it's multiple subfield transections. And they wanted to put little slits into the sections that were having misfires or having seizures. And then the hope would be that it would lessen them. After surgeries, about 2 months later, I've been seizure-free since, and the doctors were shocked.
Oh my gosh, congratulations. That's
Thank you.
incredible.
Thank
And
you.
I love the title, Be There When I Return. It speaks
you.
to the power of love and loyalty, I understand. So can you share how your relationship really played a big monumental role in recovery?
Honestly, I don't think I would be here without the girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife. Because going through this on your own would not be easy. And she was there, not giving up on me. And the title, Be There When I Return, comes in from her always being there when I would have a seizure and kind of protecting me. And then when I had surgery, before surgery, the doctors told my mom and my dad and my girlfriend that the possible side effects. And one of them was long-term or short-term memory loss. And the way they interpreted short-term was that I may not know who they are when I come out of surgery. And then when I did, and I reached up and touched and kissed my girlfriend's hand, she was like, oh gosh, he remembers me, so be there when I return.
Beautiful. And you're taking part, I understand, in a really special event at Magnuson Park, Saturday, September 6th. Please tell us about it.
Yep, it's the Epilepsy Walk at Magnuson Park at 9 a.m.
Okay, rise and
So
shine.
yes, I will be there talking about the book and meeting people and just educating other people with epilepsy. And that's my goal, is the educational side of it.
Yeah, and what have you heard from readers already, especially in this community?
Yes, it's amazing how many people, the stats are crazy. There's 3.5 million people in the US. The stat that really gets people is 1 in 26. So 1 in 26 people in their lifetime will be diagnosed with epilepsy. And when you start thinking about it, say the Seahawks game, 50,000 people there, 1 in 26 will be diagnosed.
Wow.
So people they don't know that. And the more I bring up the subject, so many people say, oh, my brother, my sister, my son, my daughter, my aunt, my neighbor. And so since I have put this out there, the outreach has just been crazy.
Yeah, and I understand too you have a great story about a young boy too, if you don't mind sharing.
Yes. When the cover came out, I posted it on LinkedIn, and this mom put a picture on LinkedIn with her 9-year-old son going in for surgery with his head wrapped, and he's holding the laptop of my cover, and we look like twins. And I was like, whoa, that was emotional. But I looked where she lives, and it's Gilbert, Arizona. And it was on a Wednesday. So I sent her a text. I said, the universe is doing something. I said, call me. So she calls me, and she says, what's going on? I said, my wife and I are leaving on Saturday. We'll be in Phoenix for 2 weeks. I said, I need to meet him, and I need to meet you guys. And then we met at Top Golf, and they were coming down the hallway, and I told my wife, I said, just videotape it. And then he starts running to me, and then I just give him a big hug, and I'm like, you're my epilepsy warrior.
Oh, well, you're our warrior. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.